Hey folks, how y'all doing today? Trent Clark with Mallett Buildings. We got a little show for you today. Let's get this thing started. All right, $500 discount every week for military personnel, healthcare workers, educators, and first responders. If you're one of those people in need of a building or looking for a building, make sure you get your extra $500, okay? And if you want to upgrade to a signature or elite building, type in cash to one of the live shows just like this one, and you can get a extra $1,000 off of your building. All right, remember our referral program. If you're not looking for a building but you like us and you follow us and you know somebody looking for a building, make sure that you let them know, refer them to us. Once they purchase their building, we will give you a $200 check. You can do that as many times as you want. We'd be very happy if you would, and you will too, because you'll get $200 every time. Do 10 of them in a month and you'll get $2 grand. All right, so let's get started. As you know, we've been in business for 26 years. We set the tone, we set the standards in post-frame construction. We've been here for the long haul. We're going to be here for the long haul. Okay, we design, we have an in-house engineering firm, licensed professional engineering firm in-house. We design all our buildings. We build our truss. We soon to be roll our own metal. Okay, so we're getting better and better for you, the customer. 26 years of experience. And we are constantly improving our processes. We don't have to do that because our value building is better than our competitors' best building. But we like to continue anything new comes out, or if we want to upgrade and make, like our 2x8 scissor truss that we put on our elite buildings, we do that for you. Nobody else builds a truss like that, okay? Anyway, 26 years of business. We have the proper license. We have a business license. We are a state contractor of residential and commercial. You can hire us to do your full-blown project if you would like, okay? We have no contractor violations. You can find 500 plus reviews on BBB and Google, okay? We have an A+ rating with the BBB. This is something that our competitors just can't catch us with, and they don't have the qualifications that we have here at Mallett Building. All right, now, weekly sales. This is hot, folks. We came up with some value building sales this week, and I'm going to tell you right now, these prices are very, very, very hot. All right, let's go. You got a 30 by 30 by 12 for $19,999. That's $22 a square foot, folks, for this value building. Remember, our value building is better than our competitor's best building. All right, I'll go over why that is on the last slide. So you got a 30 by 50 by 12 for $29,999. That's $19.99 a square foot. You got a 40 by 60 by 12 for $47,999. That's $19.99 a square foot. Remember, our value building is better than our competitor's best building. Why? Because you get cable retention system. Our competitors don't do that. 26 gauge metal standard on that building. Our competitors just don't do that. All #1 kill dry treated lumber throughout that building. And we give you a 2x6 all treated #1 kill dry treated, that 2x6 scissor truss. Our competitors just doesn't do that. We give you 4,000 PSI concrete. Our competitors don't do that. They give you 3,000. Why is that important? 4,000 is 33% stronger than 3,000, okay? Our competitors don't do that because it costs more. Another thing, we put microfiber in that concrete it's in the whole volume of your concrete. That costs money. We spend an extra $6 to $8, maybe sometimes $10 a yard on that. Our competitors don't do that. They want to use that wire mesh, and be careful because that wire mesh usually sinks down to the bottom because they put too much water in the concrete. So those are things what sets us apart on the value building. Once you get up to the signature and elite, we're light years away from our competitors. But those are a few things for these value buildings. So get it while it's hot. I'll go over the specials again at the end. All right, now, let's not forget, the best building in the industry just got better, folks. Okay, we are now throwing in a electrical package with these prices. You got a 30 by 50 by 12 for $43,998. Okay, that $43,998 is we're throwing in an electrical package for you, folks. That's a $7,500 value. Okay, we're throwing that in. On a 40 by 50 by 12, You get that for $53,950. We're throwing in that electrical package on that square footage, the basic electrical package. That's a $10,000 value. Basically, $5 a square foot is what an electrician is going to charge you to wire that building up. We're throwing that in there, folks, okay? Then on the 40 by 60 by 12, you get that for $61,598. We're going to throw in an electrical package on that. You get everything that the Elite package comes with, which is the best in the building, the best in the industry, okay? And then we're throwing in electrical packages, basic electrical package. Our building specialist can tell you what's in that package, okay? Get you lights. Basic package is going to get you power, the lights, the switches, and the receptacles, okay? And your panel and breakers. So that's the Elite specialist. Now let's get into it. We want you to know we're very proud of. We're here locally in Iowa, Louisiana, right off the interstate, I-10. You've seen us. Been in business here for 26 years. Well, I think across the street at first. But anyway, the point of this slide is we want to let you know that we like to give back to the local community. This is just a few people that Lee gives back to. With the help of you, the customers, we give back. Okay, we're very proud of that. We're going to continue to show this because we're proud of it. Not all of them can fit on this slide, folks. Just remember that. All right, guaranteed quality when you deal with Mallett Building. Why? We use #1 kiln-dried lumber. We explained to you yesterday what that's all about. You got to pay more for that. We dry that treated lumber. You can go buy treated lumber from the lumber yard, but it might not be MCA treated. It might be CCA treated. It's got toxins in that. We don't recommend you utilize that in a residential building. In fact, if you're building something residential, they're probably not going to pass you if you use CCA treated lumber. Okay, just a note for you. Okay, and all that is you get a lifetime warranty against termites, rot, fungal decay, and rust. Okay, we like to use the customer first approach, personalized service from concept to completion. We got a 3D image and tool on our website. We'd like you to go on, build your building of your dreams, put doors where you want it, windows where you want it, push the submit button. You got to fill out a little information, push the submit button. But what that does is that's going to give you to a building specialist, and they're going to be able to give you a quote accurately to the building of your dreams. And you're going to have to do that anyway, so it's just easier for you to knock it out on the front end. Okay, so utilize that. Okay, we got 3 buildings here, series here. We got the value, which I showed you the specials. I'll show you the specials again. Our value, I said it again. I'm going to say it again another time. Our value building is better than our competitor's very best building. Okay, so you got the value series, you got the signature series, and you got the elite series. Okay, that's the 3 building series we have here at Mallett. Now let's talk a little bit about once you sign the contract, what happens next? All right, well, here you go. After you sign the contract, okay, might take a couple of days for you to get, some colors and all that. It's awesome if you have all that ready, but colors and all that, we need all that. Then it's going to go to the design. Design's going to, design your building. Then it's going to, if you need permits or planning, delivery the building. We build the building, form the building, concrete the building, and final installation and inspection. Let's go over those, okay? So after you sign your contract, our team has 15 days to get a building designed to you for approval. Now, understand, the more information and the more that you're ready, the more that you have all your ducks in a row, that number can get better. We just like to let you know that it could take 15 days to get there. I've seen it get there quicker, all right? If there's any changes in the design, adding a wing, changes the size, anything like, let's say it gets in design and you want to change something, it's going to happen right there in design, okay? Their design team is going to work back and forth with you. You're going to get everything and you're going to sign off on it, okay? So then, all right, permits and stamp plans. If you're required to have stamp plans, Daryl, who you met here, is going to stamp those plans for you here at our facility, so you can bring it to the permit office, okay? If the project requires stamp plans, our engineer approves the designs and stamps them. You take your design to your permit office for a permit or a permit waiver. What a permit waiver is we'll get you to sign a permit waiver if you're not required to have stamped plans. Simple as that, okay? So, delivery. Once all that's done, okay, we're probably 10 weeks out right now. It's getting better. All that rain's behind us. We're speeding up that process a whole lot better right now. So don't let that fool you. A lot of people, the sooner you get here, the better you get on the board, and it's moving quickly, okay? But once we get your permit or waiver, we schedule you for material delivery, okay? And then you're on the board. Each week you're getting closer to your delivery. Weather depending, delivery typically takes 6 to 8 weeks after your permit is received. So right now, as I told you, we're about 10 weeks or so, but that's constantly improving. Every day we're with this weather behind us, hopefully, except for the day. I see it's raining out there. We're getting better and better. We got 10 crews here at Mallett building. So we're building a lot of buildings here, and it's worth the wait. I can promise you. Why? Because we've been in here 26 years. You got a peace of mind when you're dealing with Mallett because you know that we're going to be here for the long haul, okay? So after that, our building phase. So once the materials are delivered, our crews arrive within 2 weeks to erect the building. Sometimes they arrive within 2 days. We like to say 2 weeks to give us a cushion, depending on what all's going on. It might have some bad weather, whatever it may be. We specifically state 2 weeks because we won't go over that, okay? Typically, though, it's pretty quick. We get there pretty quick. We're waiting on you to let us know when we come most of the time. Okay, crews take 3 to 4 days to assemble your building. So once the builders get there, depending on the size of your building and how elaborate your building is, I've seen the builders take 2 days to build a building. A 30 by 30, they can knock that out in 2 days. So typically between 2 and 4 days. If it's a bigger building, it may take a week. All right, now, after that, what's going to happen is we're going to send an inspector out. Let me just read this first. Once the building is erected, we measure the foundation levels and have you order fill sand. Okay, let me explain it to you a little bit different. Just go freestyle here. So basically, what happens after your building is erected, okay, I want to add, though, we're going to get you to sign off 3 phases of that building. We're going to get you there, and you're going to tell us where to put the building. We want you to tell us where you want the building, and we want you to tell us what the elevation is, where you want your concrete to be in that building. Do you want it? Do you have it? Do you want it to be even with something? We need to know at that point. We're going to ask you to sign off on that piece of paper, okay? That piece of paper is going to state that you told us where you want your building and what the elevation is on your building, okay? Once that's done, we're going to start drilling the holes and we're going to start erecting that building. After that building is erected, we're going to ask you to come and sign off on the framing inspection. The reason why we do that is that's the time to let us know if your windows is where you said you wanted them or where you signed off on your paperwork is stated, and your doors, okay? Once you sign off on that, we won't move until you sign off on that, okay? Because we want you to be satisfied the whole step of the way. We'll get you to sign off on that. We call that the framing inspection. You're going to sign off on that, then our builders are going to put the metal up. Once they put the metal up, you're going to sign off on that one, and then you'll have a building payment at that time, okay? So that's what happens at that point. And then, let me pull back. So once that happens, then we're going to send an inspector out there. The inspector is going to go through the building, make sure that the builders didn't miss anything. If there's any red tags that we need to do, we'll note those at that point. And then the inspector is actually going to take measurements of your ground so we can tell you how much fill sand you need. And it's a basic calculation. If you got a 4-inch slab, we know what we need to bring it to. If it's a 6-inch, we know what we need to bring it to, okay? Even if you have a brand new pad, you're going to need some fill sand. So expect to pay some money for fill sand. We don't know how much it is until the building is erected, okay? We get a lot of calls and like, well, I didn't know I was going to pay for fill sand. We explain that to you. We're very open and we don't hide anything. but you will be expected to pay for some fill sand, and that's to get you to grade so we can pour your concrete, okay? So, and that's what happens. So he's gonna do those measurements. We're gonna communicate with you. We're gonna tell you how much fill sand you need. Once you tell us it's there, we're gonna ask you to cover it up if it rains, but then we're gonna schedule our foreman crew to go out there, okay? Our foreman crew is gonna go out there. They're gonna form the building to get it to grade, and then we're gonna pour the concrete. And that's what we're in now. We're in the concrete phase. By the way, at the forming phase, there'll be another payment, okay? So now we're at the concrete, all right? Once the foundation is at grade, which you saw on the other slide, we put the membrane down in the cable retention system. Back that up so you can see it right here. This is ready for concrete. You got the membrane or the visqueen down, you got the cable retention system. You can see it going from post to post, and it goes all the way down that building like that, and you can see that we're at grade. This is a 6-inch slab. So you can see we're at grade right here, ready to receive your concrete, okay? All right, now once that happens, we schedule the concrete. We get the concrete crew there. It's usually early morning, especially in this summer heat. We like to schedule it early in the morning as possible. Start at 3 a.m. sometimes, but that's scheduled with you. We like you to be there at the end of the concrete so you can make sure, because once that concrete dries, there's no going back. You got to make sure it's the finish you want. Got to make sure that our finishers are gonna, if they got any splatter, we want you there to say, hey, y'all need to get this off. We ask you to be there. We're gonna ask you to sign off, and we're gonna ask you for the final payment at that point, okay? Now, final inspection. Once the concrete is poured, we will finish installing building features. So we wait till the concrete is poured before we go do, first of all, you may have control joints that if it's an elite building, we're gonna offer you control joints. You don't have to get them, we highly recommend them. We'll go do your control joints. That's after concrete, we'll put your gutters up. Why? Because we don't like the downspouts to be down, and something could happen. It happened to us before where maybe the concrete truck, you got a lot of people working around that building, they could hit something, you know, we don't want your gutter downspouts to bend. So there's a reason why we do things, all the little things at the end, okay? Because we don't want it to get damaged, we want it to be fresh. So we'll put the doors, if you got any doors that's not up, we'll put those in at that time, control joints, gutters. If we had any red tags that we needed to order some metal or some trim, and we'll finish those, fine-tune that up at that time. So, and then after that, we're done. Or if you have any electrical, we'll put the electrical up at that time, okay? So every step of our phase is monitored. So as you know, every step of every building has its own file here at Mallett. And we got plenty of pictures. We demand pictures from every phase of our operation, even delivery, builders, inspectors, finishers, every step of the way. We are monitoring with pictures and our live video, okay? And we keep that information here so we can reflect back to it. If something happens, we can pull up photos. We can see, hey, that window wasn't broken, you know, when it delivered. So the builders, we can keep up with, if something goes wrong, we can act now rather than later to try to fix it. So every step of the way, we're monitoring your job. Just pictures from our company cam. This is one picture. You know, we have our builders take special pictures showing the aggregate in the bottom, the dry pack of concrete in the bottom, and showing you that, you know, it's a minimum of 3 to 4 foot we like to see, and we make them take pictures so we have it. All right? Just more pictures of buildings going up. You can see this is pictures when we send our foreman crew out. We'll have, you know, they put down the fill sand. Now he's going double check your grade to make sure that we put the accurate amount of concrete in your building. So he's going back and he's checking it. We got measurements that he has to take, and he's got to take pictures and our videos of it. Here's kind of blew up right here. You can see this is 4-inch slab, this is a 6-inch slab. So obviously this is a 6-inch slab. To just show you, we like to show you, and we're proud of this system because we're tracking every part of your building. All right? Now, just pictures of concrete being poured. This is the gutter guys going to install the gutters. Foundation requirement. So remember, folks, we have, you know, in our page 18 in our contract, we're gonna recommend. Now, a lot of people don't follow this, and it's okay, but we're gonna recommend you do this. Property needs to be degrassed, topsoil removed from the clay pan, 60/40 product brought in to fill that up. The building pad should be 5 foot bigger than your building. So if you got a 30-foot wide building, we're gonna, on each side, so we're gonna ask you to put that pad 40 foot. Why? Because you're gonna have rain and runoff, and it needs to be able to run off of that building, okay? And then, you know, we recommend you get a compaction test, all right? Because that's the only way you can see that your pad is ready to receive it. Now, remember that our buildings, all the weight's not on the concrete, it's mostly on the post. So, I mean, you don't have a whole lot of weight on your slab, but it's good to do your due diligence and go ahead and make a pad, because once that building's up, there's no going back. All right, so we recommend that. This is just showing you degrassing. Get the grass off. This is showing you we took all the topsoil out, and we want to come back with some good 60/40 clay where it can get compacted. That's what it looks like. You can see here all the topsoil taken out, and that's good for your grass. You want keep that, and you can spread it around your building and have your grass. But you want this good clay that's going to compact real good to be your foundation underneath your building, and that's what we recommend. And then, of course, you know, they're compacting it here with this big buffalo roller. A lot of people call them different things, but you know, that's the proper way to do it. Now, use our spec sheets. We're going to tell you all this. We're going to tell you what's in our building. I think we're the only one that does this. We don't hide anything from you. Everything, you got our qualifications. You got each building of what's actually going into that building. There's a check mark over here that you can get your competitors to say, hey, you know, are they doing that? You know, or do y'all do what Mallett does? Because everybody likes to say that they build the same building as Mallett, and we know that not to be true, okay? So use that spec sheet. Let's go through the red flags real quick, and I like to do that every day in case we get a new viewer viewing us, so you can see what to do and don't get in trouble or don't lose some money with these guys out here that's not responsible enough to do the right thing. So years in business, don't it make sense to find out how long they've been in business, or even if they have the proper business license to be doing business in the state of Louisiana? You can find that out at the Secretary of State website. Proper licensure, doesn't it make sense that they be responsible enough to have a contractor's license so they have the authority to erect the building with the proper license? You can find that out at the LSLBC. You can find out if they have any contractor violations at the LSLBC, okay? Go to Better Business Bureau or Google, find out if they have any reviews. If they don't have any reviews, folks, it might be a red flag, okay? We have over 500. Visit the contractor facility. We invite you here, we always will, and we're gonna have other things for you to see coming up in the future. We're building a roll form plant next door where we can roll our own metal, make our own truss here. But it might be a red flag if you go and visit with whoever's going to erect your building and they're meeting with you in the front seat of their truck. If they don't have a facility or even a little office somewhere, it might be a red flag, folks, because if they're not responsible enough to invest in their own self to get an office somewhere that shows you that they're going to be there for the long haul, then if they're doing business out of their truck, it just might be a red flag that they're not grounded in what they're doing. They're not committed to what they're doing if they're not full force in it. I'm just saying it could be a red flag. Now, like this lady, she got hurt by a contractor, probably that his office was in the front seat of his truck, and he wasn't committed to doing what he needed to do. He wasn't responsible enough to get the proper license, and he probably had violations before. She just didn't know how to find that out. just like these guys and these guys. Now, let's go over to the scorecard. Southern Style, they get an F. Rob Built, F. Precision, F. Ranger Building, F. Beck, F. Fortify and Sulfur, F. Apache Buildings, F. Branded Buildings, F. RJM Construction, F. Southern Quality, F. Okay? Now, folks, this is our competitors, all right? These are the people that say they build a Mallett building. They're no way close to building a Mallett building, okay? Come see for yourself. We invite you here. We're the only ones on this board that got a 100, okay? Let us show you why, okay? We've been in business all these years because we have proven ourselves over and over again to be quality, reliable, and here for the long haul, okay? So let's go over all them specials one more time. This is awesome specials. If you're in the market, now's the time to get them. You got a 30 by 30 by 12 for $19,999. You got a 30 by 50 by 12 for $29,999. That's only $19.99 a square foot. You got a 40 by 60 by 12 for $47,999, folks. The prices are not going down. They're actually going up. We got very aggressive with these prices, and we are very aggressive with this package. We got a lot of customers that are, asking us, did they get this? We have aligned ourselves with some of our distributors when it comes to electrical stuff. We didn't have this a week ago. We have it now. We can offer it now. But now, on a 30 by 50 by 12 for $43,998, we can throw in that electrical package for you, folks. That's a $7,500 value. On a 40 by 50 by 12 for $53,950, we are throwing that electrical package in with you, folks. That's a $10,000 value on that. A 40 by 60 by 12, $61,598, okay? That's a great deal on the best building in the country, the Elite package. All the bells and whistles come in this building. And on that 40 by 60, you're getting a $12,000 value. Why? Because we're giving you an electrical package. We're giving you a basic electrical package, folks. It's not getting any better than this, folks. Now's the time. If you're in the market, make sure you call our building specialist. Now, if you got a competitor's bid, bring it in. We'll beat it apples to apples. But it's not apples to apples. You know why? Because their best building can't even match our value building, okay? Cable retention systems, 2 by 12 headers. They use 2 by 8s. You got 2 by 6 scissor truss. They use 2 by 4 common truss, probably not treated. You got 26 gauge metal here at Mallett. They probably using 29 gauge, and if they're going to give you, they can give you 26 gauge. They're going to charge you for it. We do things better. That's our value building. Okay, so we'll beat their bid for you, apples to apples. The problem is it's not going to be apples to apples. We're light years ahead of them. Bring it in, folks, and the best part is you get all this for free. You get years of experience, the best quality in the business, okay? We do things better and better. It amazes me how we are better in our processes all the time, folks. Now, if you want to see a building, we have ambassadors out there. Our building specialists can hook you up with them. You don't have to do nothing. Just tell them you want to see a Mallett building, and they're going to fix it for you. They'll find out where you live and where an ambassador is nearest you, and they'll set that up, and you can visit them. Okay? Now, that's our show today. We really appreciate your business. We'll